The mark of the beast is something only the false prophet who promotes the Antichrist will issue. It's not going to be done by the U.S. government. It's not going to be a social security number, a debit card by banks, a chip, a vaccine, or something else like that in our modern current world. The mark of the beast is something that only the false prophet issues. Let's take a look at that. That's from Revelation 13. Revelation 13 concerns two main end times people. The beast, which is also called the Antichrist, not in Revelation, but in the letters of John. And then we have the false prophet here. Revelation 13:11. I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, or land, whichever your translation says, because it refers to the land of Israel here. And he had two horns like a lamb, meaning that he's like a prophet, but he spoke like a dragon, which means he talks like a devil. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him. So he produces miracles in the presence of the Antichrist, because the Antichrist also himself produces miracles. So let's continue. And he causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. So this is really so in a way you could say that the false prophet here is the John the Baptist to as John the Baptist was to Jesus, the false prophet is to Antichrist. So he promotes the worship of the first beast, while John the Baptist promoted Jesus. He said, "He that came after me was before me, whose shoes I'm not worthy to unfasten." So he promoted the worship of the Lord. The false prophet is going to do the same thing with Antichrist. So, whose deadly wound was healed, which refers really to the Roman Empire coming back into existence. That's the deadly wound healed. And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's exactly what Elijah did in chapter 18 of 1 Kings, when he had this showdown with the false prophets of Baal and of Jezebel. And he was the one that called fire down upon the sacrifice, right? Well, this is the Elijah moment. This is what connects the false prophet here to Elijah, so that many people will be convinced that he is Elijah. The Jews are waiting for Elijah to come back. And he deceives them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. So here he causes them to make an image that looks like the Antichrist. And he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. In Habakkuk it says, "Woe to them that say to the wood, awake, or to the stone, speak." This is exactly what's happening. Okay, that's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 19. Now, the whole idea is that mankind has always wanted their imaginations to become real. We've always wanted what we are inside our hearts to be expressed in the outward world. Our wicked imaginations. Well, this is the ultimate form of that. They are bringing all their wicked imaginations into a speaking idol. Finally, they have what they want, a living, breathing, speaking product of their imagination. That's what that is. So, this has the power of execution this is where the persecution comes from. Anybody who doesn't worship this image will be persecuted, executed, mostly by beheading, as what it says in chapter 6 of Revelation, when the souls on the altar who are beheaded. So this will be the fate that they will endure for not worshiping this image. So look at this. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. There's your mark. But who's issuing it? The false prophet, the false Elijah. Only until the false Elijah issues a mark is it the deadly one. So modern chips or social security numbers or debit cards or anything like that, chips embedded in vaccines, if that's what's going on, those are not marks of the beast. They're preparatory, perhaps, you could say, but nowhere near. They're not. That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that others has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, right? Well, there you are. The only mark of the beast that dooms people, because if you take it, you can't be saved. The only time that happens is in these days. Not today or tomorrow. There has to be an Antichrist on the earth, and he has to have a false prophet who calls fire out of heaven, and it's that individual who issues the mark. He's in charge of that mark. And he creates an idol that he brings to life. None of those things have happened, and they're not happening now. So there's no point in getting all upset about what's the new mark of the beast coming around the corner. The false prophet is not going to create the technology of a mark. He's going to exploit it for the beast, for the number of his name. He's going to assign that number to the technology already in existence. That's all. And of course, I take Revelation from a futuristic point of view. So that's how I interpret these passages. But to me, it makes the most sense. This answers more questions than it raises if we look to the future when these things are being fulfilled. So, to wrap up, Antichrist has to be here. A false prophet that acts like Elijah has to be here. It is the false prophet who creates an image of the Antichrist. That's going to be placed in the temple, actually, in the abomination of desolation. And this false prophet will issue the mark at that time, but not now. So please don't be worried about the next thing coming down the pike, about whether it's the mark of the beast. It's not until all of these things are actually happening. All of them have to be happening at once. We don't take that individual idea and yank it out and say this is a fulfillment, and if you do this, you'll be lost. No, that's fear-mongering. So may God bless you in the contemplation of His Word. Amen.